Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Brothers, I had an experience and I want to share it with you. And hopefully, Lord willing, through the Spirit, it'll be edifying. Right? So, as I mentioned to you brothers a video or so ago, I had to do some traveling for work. And I flew back to the city where I live and reside in. Nevertheless, I'm going to play this video that I took, but I sped it up for the sake of time. And I want you brothers to check this out real quick. Right?
This is going to be us, brothers. It's going to be us.
And what do I mean by this is going to be us? Because those of us in the knowledge and the truth, we understand that in the time to come, and it also is prophesied that the Lord is going to gather his elect. But how do we know for sure? How do we know for certain? And what is that going to look like? Let's get right into the scriptures. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 4, and it reads, "Even if you have been banished to the most distant land under the heavens, from there the Lord your God will gather you and bring you back. He will bring you to the land that belongs to your ancestors, and you will take possession of it. He will make you more he will make you more prosperous and numerous than your ancestors." Right? So let's go from there. This is why when Christians say the Old Testament is done or the law is done away with, they're also trying to do away with the prophecies as well. And it's prophesied all throughout scriptures, the Old Testament specifically, that we will be redeemed. There's so many prophecies to come forth that we're going to be gathered, right? How do we know? Zechariah chapter 2 verse 6, it says, "Come, flee from the land of the north, declares the Lord. For I have scattered you to the four winds of the heavens, declares the Lord." Now, the land of the north, of course, is North America, okay? Now, when it says flee, it doesn't mean actually leave, because you can leave and go to another country and still be under the curses. Remember, the curses will pursue you and overtake you wherever you may go. You understand? So no matter where you travel to, you're still going to be under the curses, no matter how you slice it, right? We should be patiently waiting for the Lord to come and redeem us, okay? Right? Let's go from there. Let's go to Ezekiel, right? Which further substantiates the point, because as the scripture says, let everything be established on 2 or 3 witnesses. Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 12. "As a shepherd looks after his scattered flock when he is with them, so I will look for my sheep." Who's the sheep? The 12 tribes of Israel. What does it go on to say? "I will rescue them from all the places where they have been scattered." Right? How were we scattered? Well, why were we scattered? Because we were under the curses. How were we scattered? Via the slave trade. Right? Let me start over. "I will rescue them from all the places where they were scattered on the day of clouds and darkness." Right? Where else does it talk about clouds and darkness and the Lord gathering us? It even says it several times in the New Testament, specifically in Mark chapter 13, verse 26, and it reads, At that time, people will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory." The clouds, anyone who's been in this truth long enough, are the chariots, right? The book of Psalms tells us that he make his chariots the clouds, right? You got to remember, we're talking about the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the creator of the universe, right? The chariots are cloaked as what? Clouds, okay? The scriptures talk about them being whirlwinds. The scriptures talk about them being horses, right? So when you see coming in the clouds, he's coming with what? The chariots, the vehicles. Remember, That plane I was on, the scriptures tells us everything that we see is made out of things that are what? Unseen. So just like we as people, as human beings, have various vehicles to get us from place to place, so does the Lord. All right? What does this go on to say? Right? Mark 13, chapter 27. And he will send his angels to do what? What are the angels going to be doing? He will send his angels and gather his elect from the four winds of the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven. Who's this elect? His elect are that 1/3, right? That 1/3 out of the house of Israel, right? A special portion. They're all Israelites that's been scattered. But his elect is that portion that's been refined by fire. They're the select few. Okay? Let's go from there. How do we know? Let's keep looking. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this lesson, right? 2 Thessalonians. So not only are we going to be gathered by the angel, like the Apostle Paul wrote to the Israelites scattered in Thessalonica. I always fumble with this word. In Thessalonica, pardon me, brothers. And it reads in chapter 2, in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1, concerning the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai, are being gathered to him. So not only are the angels are going to gather us, we're going to be gathered unto him, meaning we're going to be with him, right? Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 17. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will always, I like this portion, so we will be with the Lord forever. Remember, when we gathered up with the Lord by the angels, guess what else is going to happen? We are going to be changed. We're going to be given that immortal body, right? Right? I know a lot of guys talk about, being a passport bro. You can get all the passports you want, brothers, but you're still in the flesh, and guess what else? You're still under these damn curses, right? So nothing's really changing. You might have changed your scenery, but your circumstances essentially are going to be the same. Let's go from there, right? You got to remember something that's said in Revelations, right? What else is that going to look like? Because you got to remember, when you read the scriptures, it's just like your favorite movie, or like, let me use Marvel Comics as the Thanos series. They'll have one portion that's current, or they might open a movie with a portion from the past, then jump to the middle, then start it all over again. The scriptures read the same way, right? Revelation chapter 11. And guess what else is going to happen when the elect are being caught up, right? Revelations 11, 12, and 13 gives us a peek of that. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven saying, "Come up here." That's when those angels are gathering the elect, right? And they went up to heaven in a cloud. Remember I talked about the cloud being the chariots, right? The quote unquote UFOs. And guess what else was else going to happen when they're watching us, when our enemies, the other nations, and the 2/3 are watching us, right? Their enemies looked on. And guess what else is happening while they're looking on? At that very hour, there was a severe earthquake, and a tenth of the city collapsed. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, and the survivors were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven. That's what you got to understand, brothers. When it's talking about a severe earthquake happen, right? That's talking about the nuclear missiles hitting the United States, causing the earthquake to happen. The earthquake just didn't mysteriously happened out of nowhere. When it talked about 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, right? That 7,000 goes into a complete number of people being killed, right? The survivors are us. The survivors are the 1/3, the elect that were caught up in the chariots, right? Okay? Let's go from there. Let's go to Revelations. And guess what else they're going to be doing while they caught up in those chariots? Revelations 18 and 20, right? We're going to be rejoicing. Because while America's being destroyed, we know that we made it out of there, right? It says, rejoice over her, you heavens. That means all the heavenly beings are going to be rejoicing, right? Rejoice, you people of Yahweh. That means that 1/3, we're going to be rejoicing as well, right? Rejoice, the apostles, because all the apostles were Israelites. And prophets, because all the prophets were Israelites. For Yahweh has judged her with the judgment she imposed on you, right? Because his nation has to be repaid for what they did unto his elect, the apple of his eye, his chosen people. Okay? Let's go from there. Let's go here. And let's read in Revelations again what we're going to have a front row seat of viewing, right? We're going to have a front row seat to all of this. We're going to be the real passport brothers and sisters, right? The passport elect, okay? And I saw what looked like a sea of glass glowing with fire, and standing beside the sea, those who had been victorious over the beast and its image, and over the number of his name. They held harps given them by Yahweh. Why is that? Because we're going to be rejoicing. We're going to be overwhelmed with joy. We're going to be singing praises. All praises. Call halal Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. We're going to be the real passport bros and sisters and the elect. That's what it's all about, brothers. Let me go back to that video. Not that I want somebody to understand this. Not that I'm trying to boast about being on a flight, but when I was on that runway, it really hit me, man, that this is going to be us here. You know? Let me speed this up a little bit, guys. This is going to be us here. We gathered up. That's going to be us, man. Like the thought was just in my mind while I was on the plane. I'm praying that I'm of the hopeful elect, and also I'm praying that you brothers and sisters are of the elect. Right? Look at that, man. We get to have a front row seat to that. Right? We just got to keep the faith and endure to the end. Right? Look at that, man. This is going to be us. Right? Watching this wicked nation fall from up above. Right? In our new immortal bodies, watching it all happen. Hold on, I think I took some even better photos while I was there. No, you don't need to see that, but let me see. I had one photo that I really want you. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one right there, brothers. Hopefully this lesson was edifying, brothers and sisters. Shalom.